The giant of Africa will rise again. Nigeria will rise again. I said Nigeria will rise again.
This terminal, like you may have read in the news and have heard momentarily, has been named after Professor Nnenna Oti.
Rejoicing today because you stood your feet and said no to whatever antics they came.
The courageous and returning officer who demonstrated unflinching integrity in the discharge of her duty during a high-stake election assignment here in Abia in 2023.
Did Alex Otti do the right thing naming a bus terminal after Professor Nnenna Oti?
Through her courageous disposition of standing firmly by the truth and refusing to treat her role in the 2023 election as an invitation to a sudden banquet.
Governor Alex Otti has triggered fresh public debate after naming the newly commissioned Umuahia Central Bus Terminal after Professor Nnenna Oti, a decision that has continued to divide opinions across Abia State and Nigeria. The terminal was officially commissioned on Wednesday, May 27, 2026 and renamed Nnenna Oti Bus Terminal by the Abia State government.
This day has spoken for itself. I have never done elections before in my life. But duty came calling. I prayed. I responded. But I simply did what I've done all my life. To do the right thing. And I stand. I stood. I still stand. I will continue to stand on my truths. Votes must count.
Governor Alex Otti said the honor was to recognize Professor Nnenna Oti for her role and integrity during the 2023 governorship election, where she served as the returning officer under the INEC.
As an invitation to a sudden banquet, she reminded us that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results by simply saying no. No to manipulation, no to injustice, no to conspiracy, and all such designs that steal the destinies of individuals and communities.
According to supporters of the governor, the decision reflects appreciation for what they describe as courage, transparency, and professionalism displayed during a highly contested election period that attracted nationwide attention. They argue that Professor Oti became a symbol of electoral integrity in Nigeria's democratic process. However, opposition voices, especially from the APC in Abia State, have strongly criticized the move. They argue that naming a major public infrastructure after an electoral officer tied to a politically sensitive election could raise questions and fuel political tension. Some also insist that electoral officers are simply doing their constitutional duty and should not be publicly honored by beneficiaries of the process. The APC further claims the decision may set a controversial precedent, suggesting it could be interpreted as political appreciation rather than neutral recognition of public service. On the other hand, many supporters maintain that the recognition is not political but moral, insisting that integrity should be rewarded regardless of office or timing. They point to widespread praise Professor Oti received during and after the 2023 election process as evidence of her credibility. In previous video, I shared about Professor Nnenna Oti's speech during the commissioning of the bus terminal. The comment section was filled with praises. Many commenters described her as a woman of integrity, with others repeatedly saying God bless her for her role and conduct during the election process. That reaction has further fueled the argument that she is widely respected by a large section of the public. The debate is now trending strongly online and offline, with two clear sides emerging. Those who see it as a deserved honor for integrity, and those who believe it is politically sensitive and unnecessary. So the question remains open for public discussion. Did Governor Alex Otti do the right thing? Or has this decision crossed a political line that should have been avoided? What is your opinion? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Prime Joe Network for more updates and trending political stories.
people must stand. And all I can say, I have a dream. I've always had that someday the giant of Africa will rise again. Nigeria will rise again. I said Nigeria will rise again. I see a new day dawning when Nigeria will work for everyone. I said Nigeria has to work for everyone. The weak and the strong. They have and they have none. And so as I end, I see a new sun rising. I see a new sun rising. When everyone in Nigeria and everyone in Nigeria, it will be natural for us to do the right thing. I simply did the right thing. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
The state is better today because of the sacrifices you made as individuals and groups. We have named this gigantic structure after Prof. Nnenna Oti, but in honor and remembrance of your collective forthrightness and patriotism. So what we are saying today is that Professor Nnenna Oti represents all those staff of INEC who never bent, all those party officials who didn't give in, all those people, security agencies, policemen, army men, DSS officials, so many of you, people who said no to intimidation. So she's just a representative of all of you. For the records, I would like to make it clear that it took a lot of efforts to convince Professor Nnenna Oti to agree to this gesture, because in her reckoning, just like she has said today, she nearly did her job. In her book, however, she did more than tabulate and announce the true results of an election, a job many had previously failed at. Nonetheless, she actually lived out the age-old wisdom that a good name is superior to riches. I congratulate Professor Nnenna Oti and everyone who worked with her for ending the culture of electoral impunity in the state. I invite you not to relent in standing for truth and justice, wherever lies good takes you in the future. Lastly, I would like to thank the Honorable Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Chimezie Ukebu, and members of his team for the successful delivery of this project. Thank you for executing with an eye on excellence, the future and the new Abia standard. Many of us may not know, but what has been delivered is a complete ecosystem with an independent power and water supply to guarantee round-the-clock operational efficiency. We are profoundly grateful to every team member who made the necessary sacrifices to deliver an outstanding project. Commendations are also due to the planning project team led by Engineer Biodun Otuola for their commitment to value, functionality, and durability, and for allowing us to push them so hard that in some instances they have to bring down part of the job that they have done, incurring further costs. But like the engineer said himself, only the best is good enough for Abia people. This project, as we have heard from the Honorable Commissioner for Transport, belongs to all of us. We are therefore encouraged to take full ownership of it, particularly the Ibeku people who this project sees on their land. The President General of Ibeku, I am challenging you and members of your team to take direct ownership and ensure that nothing goes wrong here. We are therefore encouraged to take full ownership, like I said. The best way to use the facility and these component systems is to use it responsibly. There shall be no tolerance for practices such as indiscriminate disposal of waste, vandalism, or theft, as the full weight of the law will be brought to bear against offenders. May I also remind us that this project is another invitation to take our tax payment obligations more seriously. Taxes are the lubricant that oil the wheel of development. Let us then consistently remit to the government each share of the prosperity it is creating in our community through investments such as this. Before I thank you for listening, I think it is also appropriate for us to observe a minute's silence in honor of the Honorable Commissioner for Transport, the first Honorable Commissioner for Transport we had, who passed on recently and have been laid to rest, Comrade Sonny Omuma. If you don't mind, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can we stand up and observe a minute's silence in honor of Honorable Sonny Omuma. May the soul of Comrade Sonny Omuma and others who departed faithfully rest in the bosom of the Lord. Amen. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure now to lead you to commission and declare open for public use the Nnenna Oti Bus Terminal.